A steady rain poured down on Bishop Darcy Stadium as your number 6 ranked University of St. Francis football team lost its second game of the season, 24-14, versus number 18 Siena Heights. USF could not overcome 4 turnovers, and now the Cougs sit with a 5-2 record overall, 2-2 in MSFA Mideast play.
You know, I'm going to respond with fact. Okay, fact is this. I've never seen quite a year like this with injury. We're now up to 9 season-ending injuries. I believe last week we had 11 of the 22 that we started the season with. Not an excuse, fact. And the fact is we have to have people step up. They have to have time to get ready, but they have to do it quickly. Fact 2, Saturday. We did not play traditionally hard like this program always does. I thought we came out flat. That's a fact. Siena Heights is a good football team. That's a fact. And you cannot beat good football teams by not playing your best, by turning the ball over. We had 2 picks and 2 fumbles and couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. So all of those things have happened. The answer, you know, the first thing I got to do is look at myself. What am I doing? What do I need to do differently? We have to play inspired, passionate football, regardless of who's on the field. We got to get the best guys we have, and we got to play hard. So that's what we got to do. You got to learn from the past. You got to put it behind and say, what is it now that we have to do to respond in a positive manner?
All around, it was a team loss, so no one aspect or one player lost us the game. Like Coach D said, I mean, there's interception, there's fumbles, special teams errors, but he also said, you know, defense was on the field too long. Some people look at that as, you know, oh, special teams offense did bad. As a defense, we look at that as we didn't do a good enough job on 3rd downs. We didn't do a good job of creating turnovers to get us off the field. So all around, there's things that we should have done differently in all aspects of the game. And I'm just thankful that we have time to work on that, and we'll be able to improve this week.
One player who has responded and is improving is linebacker Andrew McCormick. The redshirt freshman opened up preseason camp at quarterback, and on Saturday, he led the team with 13 tackles and had a tackle for a loss.
He's a winner. You know, he came here as a transfer quarterback. Had some shoulder issues. We had some injuries early. We weren't getting production at the Sam linebacker position. We asked him to move over initially to boundary safety, and now he's down at a Sam linebacker. And he's the kind of guy who's going to do whatever you ask him to do, and he's going to do it to the best of his ability. He's still learning to play the position, but he's picking it up pretty quickly. He plays so hard. You know, you can make mistakes in this game. If everybody's going hard, it still has success. So, boy, I want more guys to follow his pattern, and that's to give 100% perfect effort all the time.
No, I love it. He's very energetic, loves flying to the ball, loves flying downhill. So that makes my job a little bit easier. You know, I thought last week I was going to lead the team in tackles with 10, and I was 4th. So it surprised me. I told him I was pretty upset with him since he beat me in that category. But no, his energy is awesome. Like I said, he loves flying downhill, which is awesome for me at safety. Makes me feel like I can sit back and zone and coverage a little bit longer, which is great, which is what we need against passing teams. You know, we do talk, some things he questions, it makes me question it too. So all around wisdom on the defense is greater because of him. Obviously, he knows some things that he can tell me from what he saw at quarterback. So no, it's great having him in front of me and see his energy, even though he's played that position for 2 weeks now.
As for Blake, he's now a 3-year starter for your Cougs at safety. Shumacher is currently 3rd on the team with 46 tackles and provides some great senior leadership for USF.
You certainly would be proud to have your daughter marry him. He's a neat guy. He's a guy you want to be around. Comes from a great family that gives him great support. There's nothing you can say negative. He's a leader. He gives you everything he's got. He understands the difference between being hurt and being injured. He's had some pain that he's played through. He's done everything I've asked. I have confidence in him. I can confide in him and get a straight answer. And that's what you got to have in leadership. You got to have guys like that who are bold enough to stand up in front of teammates and demand accountability. So Blake Shumacher, whatever he does with his life, he will have great success.
And he's been successful from the get-go. As a true freshman, Blake was thrust into a starting role due to another player's injury. Shumacher got his first start in the national championship game versus Baker.
Finding out Lee partially tore his MCL the game before, 2 weeks before the national championship. So that's why you always want to see guys have energy, and you want to see guys participating and being all in during practice, because they never know when you're going to get a shot. And I saw that firsthand getting my first start in the national championship game. We've had about 5 defensive linemen get injured. So no matter where you thought you started at the beginning of the year, you always have to be ready. So I feel like that's partly my job of making sure those guys are ready, making sure they're focusing and being the best they can be during practice.
The Cougars were not their best selves on Saturday, and when the new NAIA Top 25 poll came out on Monday, it was a first for Coach D, as USF fell 10 spots in the poll from number 6 to number 16.
Well, first of all, you can't worry about things you don't have control of. I was kind of shocked we dropped 10 spots. I've never seen that as a Raider in the last 15 years. But it happened, and we don't have control of that. The only thing we have control of is how we perform, the effort we give, the attitude we have. So don't worry about that. Right now, we need to worry about getting better today and playing our best on Saturday. And we have 2 opponents that are not having great seasons, but are certainly capable. And they're going to be hungry. We're going to catch them when they're playing good football. So, man, we got to respond in a positive way. We can't sit back and see what's going to happen and who we're going to get in the playoffs, because we don't know. And it shouldn't even be on our mind at this point. Right now, the only thing that matters is that we're doing our best right now.
Up next is Lawrence Tech, entering the game with a 1-6 record overall and 0-3 in MSFA Mideast play. They're in their second year of the program, and this is the first matchup between the 2 schools. A win for the Blue Devils would certainly make their season special.
Well, I'm sure. You know, the thing about it is, the pollsters, they were asking, oh, you dropped 10 spots. We've been on top for so long. We've had great success for so long. We've had a couple national titles in the last 3 years. People want to see new people in there. So that's going to happen. And Siena Heights, that was their Super Bowl Saturday, to beat St. Francis. And everybody we play feels the same way. They're going to give their best football game against us. We've been an elite program for a long time, and if you're going to stay elite, you better find a way to push the buttons where you're giving everything you got each and every Saturday, because you're right, Lawrence Tech's going to come after us, so is Taylor. And right now, we just got to get better each and every day.
Tech brings with them the number 6 ranked team in the conference in total offense, racking up 309 yards per game. They're last at number 7 in total defense, giving up 402 yards per game.
Well, they got size. They're playing with predominantly sophomores and freshmen sprinkled in. They play hard. They pack it in. They try to force you to throw the ball. They'll play 7 box on defense. Offensively, they're under center quite a bit, which is not traditionally what teams are doing right now. They're lining up in the I formation and running at you. Yet they throw the ball about 50% of the time, so go figure. They're throwing boots, and they got a quarterback who stand back there and chuck it. So, you got to be ready to play, because anything can happen.
I know they go 11 personnel a lot. They love their tight end. They have, I think, 3 guys who've received a decent amount of catches. They pass a little bit more than they run. I think that's because they've been down in most games, obviously, since they're 1-7 or 1-8. So we'll be able to get better all around. Obviously, Siena Heights ran a lot against us, and we did pretty well. I mean, they ran the ball 50-some times, and I think only had like 160 yards, 170 yards. So it wasn't a bad game stopping the run. Obviously, there's things we need to improve on. both run game and pass game. So Lawrence Tech doing both, we should be able to improve on both. You always get told time flies, but until you're a senior, until you hear Coach D say you have 6 more guaranteed practices, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, I kind of realized that going in the summer, going into my senior year this past summer. And, I really tried to give it all I got. And I just kind of think back and think, if I would have started doing that for my freshman year, how much greater could I be? How much greater could I have made this team? So really just be the best version of you can be. That's in football, that's in life. You only have so many days on this earth. Who can you impact around you? Stuff like that. So that's something that's impacted me. It's crazy. We only have 6 guaranteed practices, guaranteed only 2 games left in my football career. Stings a little bit. My wife knows that I like to live in the moment though. I don't think about that stuff. So I'm just gonna enjoy every day that comes, every practice that comes, and see how it ends.